morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to another roundtable discussion. I'm Blake with Blake Vision Entertainment. I'm the founder.
And I'm Latifah with Blake Vision Entertainment, executive producer.
I'm Tondi DeShazer with Tondi and Company. I am the writer and director of Woman An Aretha Story.
Today we're here to talk about the one and only Miss Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. We have a production that's coming up September 22nd, and we would like to invite you guys out. But as we have this discussion, you'll get a chance to hear some of the things that we say behind the scenes and what ideas that we may have in terms of developing the shows that we end up producing. But please keep in mind that we produced the show several times in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think what's so exciting about this particular show is that we're actually talking about the celebration.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Of Aretha Franklin. Instead of talking about, the last shows didn't talk about anything that was not a celebration, but this was just a celebration.
Absolutely.
Well, I think one thing that we focus on when we get to the shows that we end up producing in terms of fallen legends or legends that are still with us but may no longer be performing, is the fact that we like to educate our audience. We like to, which is the first E. We like to entertain and we like to inform, but we do it in a way that we say EIE, educate, inform, and entertain. And with that formula is how we end up developing our style of writing and how we develop the concept for the particular show, because I think it's safe to say that each show is different, correct?
Each show is definitely different. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need to have that. So that way people can come and say, oh, I love that show more than I love this show. That's just like, when you listen to music, you like this particular artist song more than you might like another song that this artist has. But let's talk about this show that we're doing on Saturday, September 22nd at the Earl Theater. Tondi, who is the writer in this particular production, what is it that we're going to see different in this show than we've already seen in this current show?
Well, this show is really, I think it's a town favorite because we do talk about the two Arethas, Young Ree and the Queen of Soul. The show, they're having a conversation with each other. Begs the question, what would you tell the younger version of yourself if you had a chance to talk to her like she was one of your girlfriends?
Right.
In the original show, we focused mostly on her relationships with men. And we still do that. A lot of people didn't know a lot of her relationships with Dennis Edwards from the Temptations, a relationship with...
Don't get too much.
Okay, I don't want to give too much. But in this iteration, we still talk about that, but we added more things about her activism. Especially nowadays where we are in a political climate, we really I really want to focus on all the good that she did for the upliftment of people, not just black people, but humanity. And I really want to bring forth that. So we talk about...
Speaking of humanity, I think it's safe to say that first, we'd be remiss if we don't give you the title of this production that we're doing, Natural Woman An Aretha Story. And like I said, this story has been produced within the last 2 years. We've had tremendous success within the last 2 years with this production. And our reason for rebooting this particular production is because we wanted to give back and celebrate.
No, the reason why we're doing this is because you guys called us, you emailed us, you talked to us. We have such a great support system here in Atlanta that a lot of people don't even realize what we actually do. They love us and what we're doing. And
part of that is we were asking ourselves, how could we do something additionally different with this production? And we're giving back as well with this production.
Well, that's what I was leading up to before I got So, but our fans, we love you. You guys have truly been supporting us for the last 3 years since we started our production in terms of our theatrical series. Blake Vision Entertainment has been around for almost 23 years, and we've had some tremendous success in production, but you guys have really taken us to the next level with our theatrical series. And the goal for this show, we have partnered up with Pancreatic Cancer Association Network, which is an organization that specializes in pancreatic cancer. And we all know that we lost Ms. Franklin due to her transition with pancreatic cancer. So we want to make sure that we give you guys the opportunity and we want to give back. We want to make sure that we gave a portion of our ticket sales to this organization, and hopefully that we can stop this, because we just lost someone giving us 50 years of entertainment.
Yes.
based off of this particular
50 plus years.
Yes, it was plus. It wasn't just
Yeah.
50. 50 plus years of entertainment, and we lost because of pancreatic cancer.
Absolutely.
So it would behoove us if we didn't decide to try to come up with a legitimate reason to fight this cause. And I think we're trying to get ahead of it and get in front of it. And there's a talkback section.
Absolutely.
That will happen
At 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The matinee show, we will, after the matinee show, you'll do all our applauses and have a good time, and the audience will have a chance to talk back with myself, some other people involved in the production, in addition to people involved with cancer research, and we're still putting people together.
Yeah,
Survivors.
because it's
Absolutely.
very, very rare. And then we'll have a good conversation. You guys can talk about your feelings and your emotions. Like, one of the things that, we're gonna talk about is, and also for you guys too, like, how did Aretha's music affect you? Do you remember a moment where,
Great question.
do you remember a moment where Aretha's music was a special moment for yourself? I can think of one for myself. So, a lot of people don't know, but I went to school for theater arts, and I started off as an actor. And I was an apprentice at the Touchstone Theater in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And we had to write our own productions, produce it, do the whole shebang. And I particularly wrote this one woman story about this woman going through, what women go through. And I had, in my opening piece was Aretha Franklin, Natural Woman.
Oh, wow.
That was my opening piece, and that was what kind of got the audience in, and that kind of draws them. Like, that music, her stuff draws the people into what you're going into, because people know music plays an effect in theater. And I had her music play through my production, and that was like my moment, and people loved it, and so I still relate to it.
I didn't even know that. That sounds good.
Yeah, we were in almost 10 years.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
That's cool though.
So, what is it, like, a moment that you guys can think of for Aretha?
I will say this, the first time I really remember hearing an Aretha Franklin song was when I was a kid in church. Now, we weren't allowed to listen to any secular music growing up until I was about 10. But that happens. That happens. And the song "Mary, Don't You Weep" has such a dramatic opening, and it just, I remember as like a little kid, it kind of spooked me out, it freaked me out, because it was Mary. And to a little kid, that's a little scary, right? That's just kind of like, and then the fact that she's talking about a dead man, and you're listening, and it's just kind of, but I couldn't stop listening to it because it was just so dramatic, and then she was singing his voice, and it was just one of those things. And in fact, she opened her album Amazing Grace with that song, the original cut of the album. She opened it with that song. It's her best-selling album to date, Amazing Grace. Sold the most of any album.
That's her younger years, right?
That's in her younger years, right? And so it also happens to open the show, because it's one of those things where it sets the tone of Aretha's foundation in gospel. So that's, I tried to use those moments when writing the show, because it's got to feel personal. What about you, Blair?
Ironically, a rose is still a rose. I think my first time understanding who she was as a person in church. Yes, I'm familiar with "Oh Mary, Don't You Weep."
Yeah.
Didn't know it was her at the time. The rendition, a lot of times, when you're in church, the choir, they sing, they do other renditions of other people's songs. So I had no idea that Aretha actually wrote that song, and I'm not sure if she actually wrote, because a lot of songs, when it comes to gospel,
I think
a lot
it's
of things are
Clara
bad.
Ward, her
Right.
mentor.
Okay, and it's passed down. But
See,
was
he would know.
That's the director.
Yeah.
So like I said, I heard that, but Rose is Still a Rose. I had the opportunity to use the instrumental to Rose is Still a Rose in a production that I did many years ago. And the production that I did was The Lord's Trumpet.
Oh, okay,
And in doing The Lord's Trumpet, I directed a band, my MD at the time, and I wanted to do this rendition. And I heard it done in a jazz version years ago. And when I tell you that when I first heard the jazz version, it just, something about it that just resonated within my soul, within my spirit, and that song stuck with me. And I used to box, I'm gonna share this with everybody. I used to box when I was younger, and there's certain songs that as a boxer, to me, to help motivate you, get you through certain, rounds, or even in training when you're going through your training session. And there was one of the songs that used to constantly play in the back of my mind when I needed to get through that 3-minute, boxing session, and I'm looking for that second win, and it was like a rose is still a rose. And what I get from that song is that no matter where, and I think Tupac could have said it better, rose that grew, in the concrete, is that survival, is that we all are here to survive, but there's a certain way that we as people perceive things. And I perceive that song as being one of my motivational songs to get me through some of my darkest moments. My toughest moments.
I mean, Aretha played a major part in a whole bunch of people's lives, and so at our talk back, these are going to be the moments where you can get up and you can talk about it and release some of those emotions and get some of that stuff off your chest.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then go ahead.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
I have a question for you. Okay. If you had a chance to speak with Aretha, what would you say if you ever had an opportunity?
Well, I guess for me as a single woman, I think the one question I would ask Aretha, because she has some experience. Give me some man advice. Okay, tell me something and help me. Give me some advice on these men, because she knows. She has been around.
Yeah,
she has. So I would ask her to give you some advice, and I would probably love to hear what her advice would be.
She has lived.
Yeah, and has experience.
Absolutely.
And so I would love to hear. And then some of the best, like Sam Cooke was her friend. You know what I mean? So she has, a lot of knowledge. I would want to hear her bell.
Right, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So, I mean, if you had a conversation, what would you?
In my younger years, I was always into old women. I probably actually was married.
There you go. I love that.
And it's funny, but
hey, an experienced woman.
Yes, I don't think you did go wrong. And her voice, I mean, I could listen to her voice over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So just real talk. I mean, if I had to say, knowing that she probably look at me like I'm crazy, but at the end of the day, I think my other question would probably be to, without all jokes aside, I think my real question would be, how have you been able to survive this long in this industry? That would truly be
What would be your question?
Well, see, and I've been thinking about this for a minute, and I have to say that probably the first thing I do if I ever saw her, I'd probably bow. Because that loyalty, I'd just be take off my hat and just, be and then after you stop crying, oh my God, this is the queen. A lot of it is, I think she puts so much of herself in her music that I don't even know if I would have a question for her. Maybe I ask, what was it like to meet? I'd ask, how was Obama?
Yeah.
Is he cool?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I feel like her voice and her spirit made her such an open book. If she already feels like auntie, mama, grandma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that connects me to Aretha, because it's just you're a part of that black church experience, that black experience that we can all relate to, which is why everybody's coming out in such droves to support her, because she's relatable in such a way. We know her.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, I think the sad part is, when I did hear that she was passing from pancreatic cancer, that it's very rare that people actually survive it. So I already knew then the transition was going to happen.
Right.
And so having survivors that's coming out to the show to talk to people, I think that is amazing, because it's only a small percentage of people that actually
6%.
Yeah, 6%. It's only a small percentage of people that actually survive from this. And I had a friend whose mom passed away from it. Do you guys know anyone that's passed away, or?
Well, I lost my grandmother to pancreatic cancer in 2009, and one of the things, she managed to survive, to live with it for almost 10 years.
Oh wow!
She had a surgery went into remission, and really through faith and really great doctors, a support system, she was able to really have a long and full life. Got to see her great grandchildren be born.
Wow.
And so we shared some really great moments together. And I feel like Aretha was similar in that way, where she was able to have a longer life because of, you know, great doctors, great support system. And actually at the funeral today, they did a list of some of her doctors in the thank yous and the acknowledgements. And there were some people that were my grandmother's doctors. That were Aretha's doctors.
Oh wait, you got a little money now. your grandmother's doctors were Aretha's doctors?
A few of them,
they specialize. They specialize.
They specialize.
It don't matter. I mean, you know, some doctors just only specialize in a certain
pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
So no matter who has it, and you know, being from that.
I mean, but Aretha's gonna have the best doctors
Right.
in Detroit. So I mean that your grandmother had the best
She
doctors.
had some of the best doctors.
You know?
She was really blessed in that way. The Carmados Cancer Institute is an institute in Detroit that really works with a lot of different varieties of cancers, and pancreatic is one of them. And so it's one of those. It's not a huge coincidence that they would have had similar cross paths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Certain ones, not like every doctor. There was just some doctors that were like,
I remember that.
Uncle, tell me about that. So yeah, it's, you know, the degrees of being from Detroit, the degrees of separation is one of those interesting things. But to go back to the question about someone passing with pancreatic cancer, it's about early detection.
Yeah.
You know, I know that Black people of color, disproportionately find out about these diseases a little later.
Yeah, too late. That's what happened to my friend. Too late.
Yeah.
She was
Definitely.
passed, yeah.
So we're really doing this to spread the word about getting screened and early detection, the awareness, healthy living, and things like that. It's really important so that we can make sure that the people that we love are here for as long as possible.
Yeah. And I think, and so that's the reason why, that's why we're asking, come out and continue to support us.
Yes.
I said it twice, but continue to support us. Because if you guys don't, then who will?
That's right.
You know what I mean? We gotta support each other.
Yes.
And come out with each other.
It's very few people that are putting on theatrical production. Well, I can say this in Atlanta, there's very few people that are putting on theatrical production, theatrical tribute shows in the manner that we're doing. So for those who've already come out, who've already patronized us, we really thank you guys. We thank you for your support. We look forward to see you guys continue supporting us.
Yes.
But for the people that may not know or may not have never been to one of the Great Vision Entertainment productions, please take the time out, if not any, to come out to this particular one.
Yeah.
So that way you can get a chance to be introduced to us as the owners, as the producers of the show. You can also get a chance to see the life and celebrate the life and legacy of one of the world's, biggest queens.
Absolutely.
And I got to tell you that this story is so well written and is so involved in terms of her life, the moments that she embodied, the moments that she shared with the world. Because, Aretha, she was private, but she also was an open book when she did decide to have her interviews and come out. And she shared with the world certain things. But there are certain things that we was able to identify that we think that a lot of you guys may not know. So there are certain moments that you may raise an eyebrow to. You may be like,
we've done extensive research. So there's music you probably didn't even know that she sung that you're gonna hear. Things that you didn't even know about her that you're going to hear in this story.
Anecdotes, some fun little, the people that she worked with. I'm not gonna give it all away.
Yeah.
But even more importantly, or just as important as the story, can we talk about our singing, I know I almost cursed, our singing folk, these women and their fantastic voices.
Yes.
Chappelle Edwards plays Young Reed, and El Tanya
Sugar
Lips Shields Turner plays the Queen of Soul. And when I tell you, they bring the house down.
Yeah, Sugar Lips is so elegant.
Yes.
And when she plays it, and no shade, but we went through 3 different people before we actually found Sugar Lips.
Absolutely.
And she does it so well.
The perfect fit. She walked into the room and it was just Magic.
Yeah.
If you love what Jamie Foxx did in Ray Charles, how he embodied Ray Charles, you would fall in love with Sugar Milk Shield.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how she does it, yeah.
She embodies and embraces Aretha to a point, ladies and gentlemen, that you would just be so blown away. And I say this with compassion, and I say this with respect.
Yes.
So if you've never been, I say once again, and if you want to support what our cause is for today, and that's the goal is to give back to the Cancer Society, pancreatic cancer, called PanCam, and it's Pancreatic Action Network. And our goal is to continue to support that cause as we continue to put these shows on throughout America.
Yeah.
So each show is different, and each artist had some type of either whether it was an illness or whether it was a drug addiction or whether it was what the other we go through. Mental illness, domestic violence. So each of our shows are associated with the cause. And we try to make sure that we associate ourselves with that cause in order to give back to the community.
Absolutely.
So we do these shows because we love them, but we all know that there's a cost to anything that you do in life.
Hello.
Yeah. But I want to say something real quick about Chappelle right quick before you close out.
Yes.
Chappelle Edwards, who been working with us since the very beginning of our very first show when she did the Diana tribute. She does Young Ree.
Yes.
Just like I would think that's how Aretha was.
Absolutely.
In her younger years.
I guess I'm glad you brought that up because I don't want to feel like I was not giving Miss Edwards her opportunity because she is phenomenal at the younger version.
Yes. What I love about
thank you for bringing that.
What I love about Chappelle's performance is that she plays a range of Aretha from about 12 years old to about 30, 35, 40. So you see her, this innocent little girl at the skating rink, and then her maturing and going through this transition through the music industry, through the man, through being taken seriously as an artist. And she does it so elegantly and with grace. And it's really fun to watch that progression. And the costumes are great. You know, it's really just a fun.
Yeah, she's her funk. All of that stuff that you would think that's how Aretha was. She plays it so well.
Right.
So the two of them matched up together makes it a phenomenal cast.
It's a treat.
It really is. I mean, along with the team.
The team, yes.
Makes it, and everyone else, the band. You know, Lorenzo Sanford. Who's our MD.
He's our MD, absolutely.
Who works diligently and super hard at making sure the music and everything sounds.
He does an excellent job on the score.
Yeah.
He works really great because he will have an idea on the script. He's great with the songs themselves, but he's really great at underscoring little things, let's add a little Motown ditty here, let's add a melody from here. Just keep the audience, and it's his type of artwork is very subtle. You don't even notice it, but it has a huge impact because it fills the space. It's really, really a wonderful thing. People have to understand that there are so many details that go into putting a full production together.
Yeah, I mean, everybody from your stage manager to the tech. And I mean, and we have people that have been working with us since the beginning and still working with us. And I mean, we just have to give those people a shout out too because they're with us through this process. For our team.
Absolutely.
Behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. We appreciate you guys. We really do. In every way because we couldn't do this without you. And back to our patrons and our audience, we can't do these shows without you. So we ask that you guys continue to support us as we continue to move forward and upward in our endeavors. This production, Natural Woman An Aretha Story.
Saturday, September 22nd, we have a 3 o'clock show and an 8 o'clock show. You can purchase tickets at blakevision.com. Or you can search Eventbrite, but it's Natural Woman An Aretha Story, theatrical tribute. You don't want to Not this one, not this show.
Tickets are going fast. We look forward to you guys to see you at the venue, Earl, Rachel Smith's Rand Theater in Marietta Square. 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock show. At the end of the day, that 3 o'clock show, there will be a talk back at the end of that production. And we will have opportunity to meet some survivors of pancreatic cancer. And they will share their stories with you. as we continue to share our stories and share our talent with you guys as we continue to write these productions and bring them to you month after month.
Yeah.
Because we're probably the hardest working production.
I mean, there's a lot, but we're literally month
I'm
after
gonna give us
month.
credit.
Yeah,
There's nobody out there putting on productions once a month.
Woo.
I mean, different productions once a month.
Yeah, because we'll have like 3 different productions in 1 month at 3 different venues.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like we'll do one show here, and then a different show here, and then a different show here. So we have 3 different shows going on in the same month.
Because next month is your show.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're excited about that too.
and
We're excited about that too.
Yeah. And all these ladies that sing in this show is amazing.
I'm telling y'all, y'all gotta
You're in for a treat.
join the mailing list. Stay tuned with us. Follow us. Follow Big Vision. Follow Tandy and Company. Follow us, and because we're gonna keep you updated because we keep it moving.
Yeah.